Why can't you talk about it on camera? You should talk about it on camera.
You don't think romantic people exist who are inspired by someone?
I think all men are pieces of shit.
No.
All men.
I don't agree.
The camera should be on you about this. I'm probably gonna one day get drunk and piss you off, and so I have a short temper. So there it is on the table up front.
I am inherently an optimist.
And I am a pessimist.
I don't agree.
All men are scumbags.
No, come on.
All men are scumbags. I've yet to meet a good man.
Why do you say
I have met men with good qualities,
Yes.
but I've never met a good man.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody's a piece of shit.
This is so funny.
Well, you don't think so?
No, I think.
You think they're good men?
Yes.
You think your dad's never done anything bad? That's dark. I just asked a dark question. Ignore that.
No, I mean, my father's not perfect, but I believe he's a kind man.
Sure he is.
He's an honest man.
I'm sure people thought the same thing about Hitler. I'm sure his kids are like, Dad's great.
Do you believe that all men, basically, particularly when they interact with women, have this angle and
100%.
go for the
But so do women. So do women. Everybody wants something. You want something, I want something, we all want something.
Zelda has no angle.
Zelda just wants cuddles and loves and someone to rub her belly.
Right,
That's her
right.
angle.
It's still transactional, right?
But it is, isn't it? Don't you think that's transactional?
You don't think romantic people exist who are just actually who are inspired by someone and to
That's
do a selfless act?
Yes, look, you have sex with someone and like, okay, so the guy sucked and he came too fast, right? You're like, all right, honey, next time, no big deal. You're like, but if he does that enough times, you'd be like, dude, get your shit in order because you got to take care of me, all right? This is a two-way street here, you know? You don't agree with me. You would date a guy who was like the worst sex ever, but everything else was perfect. You would continue to date him? No, it's a transaction. You're like, I hooked you up now.
But that's not his fault.
What? Ring the bell, check the oil. What's up?
That's not his fault, though. It might, he may be stressed. You know,
that's a him problem. That's not a you problem. You have other.
If I choose to love him, it is my job.
Yes, but my question is, how long can you love that?
I am inherently an optimist.
And I am a pessimist.
You are, aren't
Yeah,
you?
totally.
Completely.
Oh, it's awful. It's terrible. If you think everything sucks and then the one thing doesn't suck, you're like, oh, that was great.
Yeah.
Or if it does suck, you're like, see, I told you guys.
Right.
So
you think that ultimately you're going to have a happier path than I am because I'm going to be brutally disappointed at all the things that I get my hopes up for?
Yeah, more or less.
Really?
I mean, I'm more realistic. You don't think so?
But don't you think though that when I'm in a state of anticipation,
What kind of anticipation are we talking about here?
All kinds.
All kinds.
Yeah, the best kind.
From eating food to having sex.
Yes.
Cool.
To
all right.
Just generally good things, that feeling like I think something good is going to happen today. You know?
Okay.
Now,
See, I wake up and I'm like, what? Like, even yesterday, I was like, I feel like something bad's coming.
Really?
Yeah, like I feel like something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I live in that state of mind.
The state of impending doom.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
I understand. Okay, I'm with you.
The floor is gonna give out at some point.
Okay, I'm a bit worried about.
Well,
Is the car okay?
I think the car's okay.
Yeah. Okay. When I'm in the state of anticipation, there is like this energy, this everything that comes off me, and how can the universe and people around me and the Zelda and everything not respond to that, and therefore it's self-perpetuating, no?
You could even make the argument that the best love stories are always based upon like, the bad guy and the good girl, or the bad girl and the good guy, and like their like dichotomy evens each other out.
What about the idea of like attracting those positive things into your life. You know, what do you think about that?
What do you mean?
You dismiss that as some sort of hippie law of attraction.
You know, you New York City, like good people, bad people, every 3 feet.
What's the worst that can happen? Like, do you really like?
What's the worst thing can happen?
Fear disappointment.
You want to know something about me?
Disappointment isn't.
Here's the funny thing about me.
Tell me.
I hate phone calls because to me a phone call is like someone's about to give me bad news.
Okay, but what about when you fall in love? Like, isn't it nice to say? Isn't it nice just to lie awake at night and think, I hope that person likes me. I hope they do. No.
Listen, the handful of times that's happened in my life, it hasn't turned out very well. When you finally break another human and you watch them get sad and cry, you're like, oh wow, all of that stuff really meant a lot to you. And then you're like, oh shit, all that stuff meant a lot to me as well. But now it's too late and you're an asshole, so you move on. That was really sad and depressing.
Or you fight for her and you make her realize that.
You know, no, but you can break things to the point where they're unfixable. Yes, the floor is going to give out either by your own actions or someone else's. Terrible way to think, I know.
No, I mean maybe
you know.
Do you think it's a New York thing though? Like, I mean, because obviously, like,
it might be.
There is that archetype of the New Yorker who's like, always,
like on the go, like and kind what's the move?
Kind of cynical and always looking for like, okay, what does this person want from me? Right?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's a combination of that and where my background. My parents are Colombian, and you know they were poor, so it was like, how can we better this situation for ourselves and for the kids? And
so it was like a survival mode, like, because you have to be.
Aren't we all in survival mode?
That's true.
Aren't you in survival mode?
I guess I am.
You would die without travel. You would die without adventure. You specifically.
Yeah.
You would die without the love and the passion and the fire in your belly of adventure. The what's down this bend of this road.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's you're surviving right now. This is your survival mode. You know, other people's survival mode is maybe being in love. Like they cling on to the idea of like being with someone 24/7. Like they have to have a boyfriend and they have to get married and they have to buy a house and have kids and I don't know, live in Staten Island or wherever the fuck people like that live.
Okay, but I'm talking about trust. What about, like, when do you give someone your trust? Like, be it in a romantic relationship.
What does that even mean?
What does it mean?
What is like, can you walk Zelda for me? Don't kill her?
No, that means giving someone the benefit of the doubt, even when perhaps there is
no proof. But to do what?
There's no proof. Give someone, I don't know, your time or your vulnerability. Okay, for example, you tell me things, I mean, maybe you tell me, I don't know, the day's still young, we'll see. Maybe you tell me something that makes you feel vulnerable, right? So this is the trust I'm talking about. And then if you do this, it is, I always feel like vulnerability is
So what makes, give me an example,
honor.
What makes you vulnerable?
What makes me vulnerable? I guess we all get vulnerable when we talk about our fears, no? Do you think?
I can tell you all that shit right now.
Okay.
See, I think the move is with that, the loophole is to just like be outright like, I'm an asshole, I'm grossly immature, probably gonna one day get drunk and piss you off, and so I have a short temper. Okay. So there it is on the table up front, and you know, most people will find that charming. They, oh my god, he's like so up front, and like, but like the story wears old. Like the cute rebellious like young guy thing isn't so cute after a couple of weeks or months, especially from an older guy. Like when you're 26 and you're a dick, like they're like, oh my god, he knows what he wants in life. Like he doesn't care. Like, but then you're like, dude, grow the fuck up. So, you know, like that doesn't bother me to tell people the truth.
Right.
I've had to stare down that barrel several times.
Okay, but let me ask you this.
People, ex-girlfriend. What?
But what has a girl ever had an effect on you, or even a friend, where you've thought, I am inspired to change, to be my best behavior, to make an effort, to no?
Yes.
Isn't this a beautiful thing?
It is a beautiful / scary thing, yes. But The truth of the matter is that...
What happened there? So one girl, like, inspired that in you?
Yes.
And?
I fucked up again.
Okay.
You know? When I was given a chance to enter the castle, if you will.
Yes.
You know, like, it was too much and I buckled under the pressure like all fuck-ups do, and I fucked it up. Okay, well, self-destructed, and, she went back to told you so.
Okay, a little less of the F word, because this is a PG show.
Oh, sorry.
This is the goal, right? This is the dream, no? To meet people who inspire you to want to be a better person, no?
Is that the dream we've been sold?
It's a dream. Well, that's my dream. I don't know. I like to.
Where did that dream come from? Do you think you've been sold that idea from like Disney television, parents, like this like thing we're supposed to get? What if the situation's supposed to be like, hey, your X, Y, and Z ways, and sometimes X drives me crazy, but I don't care. Like you're fucking crazy, but I still like you. You obviously, damn it.
Beep, beep.
You obviously knew that your last guy you dated was a certain way, and I'm sure there were things about him that drove you nuts, but you still went with it, right? So maybe someone should just like me for me. And yes, some girl might make the argument that they tried, and I continued to push, but, the roughest pieces of coal can be the shiniest diamonds.
Okay. But
you gotta tame the stallion.
But Steven, it's evolution, no? Like we.
You're right. I know. I'm joking too much. You're right. You're right.
But maybe I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. This is just a thought. But isn't the goal to want to like not stagnate emotionally or intellectually, just to want to get better?
1,000%. But like
surround ourselves by people who bring that out in us.
I mean, it sucks when shit happens. Like my mom was sick for years, and I knew she was gonna die.
Oh my God.
But then the day she dies, no matter what you've prepared yourself for, no. Whatever you've prepared yourself for isn't going to measure up to the reality of being in that situation. So yeah, I knew it. I watched it go from A to Z. I watched the rusting of the body, if you will. The reality is totally different. You can't prepare yourself for that. You can date someone and be like, oh, this relationship's gonna end one day in misery. Yeah. But you know as good as I do that the day when you break up with someone, that goodbye is always harder than what you thought.
Of course. I mean, in all these travels that I do, I'm genuinely surprised almost every day by some little gesture of kindness or some little even look in someone's eyes. I know you're probably going to laugh at me and be like, oh, you're so corny.
No, but I get that. I like that.
I agree that there is obviously evil exists. Sort of selfishness. All of these things exist in the world at the same time. But I do think that kindness is there in everywhere that I go, and it's not dependent on like culture or country or like, I don't know, just hanging out with a certain type of person. I mean, it's there in everyone, no?
Yes, I agree. I don't know. You're right. Maybe you're right. I'm amazed by people who have shown me absolute kindness. To like, I've been like the most terrible human being, and and they've just relentlessly have loved and or cared for me. Yeah. My mom was one of them.
Right.
But like, that's your mom's job. The argument there is like, that's your mom's job is also to be relentlessly loving, no matter what. Which I know a lot of people haven't had that opportunity. Like I have friends whose moms was like, took off. Yeah. But people who are just relentlessly your friend and or your girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever, like that amazes me.
What about strangers though? I'm very
yeah, but like, I mean, we're gonna meet 10 strangers between here and the park.
Right.
What does that mean? What does that matter?
When it comes from a stranger, it almost takes you aback because you think this person doesn't owe me anything. We've built no rapport, and yet they still want to give me this kindness. And why? It's such an honor, no?
Yeah, I mean, if you could look at it like that, I think they want something back.
You do. Have you ever thought the worst of someone and actually been surprised by their nature?
It's confusing, right, Zelda? Have I been surprised? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Have you? You probably have. You find good in everything. It's fractions of moments that are okay. which I think is why I like photography so much, because you get to capture these like moments in time where like,
and it endures.
Yeah, and it just stays there. Yeah. Like, you know, you have that's yours. That bit
yes.
is something you can like hold on to and like make art out of it if you're decent photographer.
Yeah. But what do you think though, that if you're always thinking about that impending doom, that in a
it'll swallow your soul. It does.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that also that you invite that then in. It's like this self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. 100%. A lot of people piss me off, but at the same time, you gotta be fascinated by even the people that piss you. You walk around Manhattan and you're like, look at all these people, like living and crying and laughing and enjoying life and not enjoying life. Like, what is it that makes you love that person, that human being? You know? Yeah, we all have these archetypes. Like, you like tall guys that are Latin and that have cute dogs. Whatever. No one's judging.
Did I say that?
You know, you never know. You never know.
Putting it out there.
Putting it out there
as an example.
So you might lean towards that most of the time, but there's obviously like a type of personality and a type of thinking that you look for.
I don't know. Do you know what? That's actually interesting, because people often say, oh, you know, what's your type?
No, don't give me this bullshit. I don't have a type.
I don't.
If we were to line up, I can already tell you from the conversations we had, you have a type, and the type is, I don't know what physically it is, but the type is a decisive man that has an adventurous soul. Oh. Am I not right? Tell me I'm not right.
Yes, but
you would never date a guy that's like, I don't know, like whatever you want. We don't have to go, or like, like that, like wet napkin like style is not for you. I can tell already.
Yes, but this is a very broad category.
Not very broad.
It's broad.
Bite your tongue, young lady.
It is.
That is not broad. You know as much as I know that a large percentage of the world is full of shit. Sorry, damn it. The majority don't have that innate curiosity that like we do. Let's get something to eat here. Okay. They don't have that, like, you know how many friends I tell weekly, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go hiking, I'm gonna go rock climbing, I'm gonna go for a run, and they're like, oh man, I wanna better my life, I wanna do this, I wanna do that. And you give them the opportunity to do it. Answer me this, why don't they do it?
Yeah.
Why don't they do it? Why don't they just grab their cojones and go out and like live the life they say they want to live?
Yeah, see, there I completely agree with you.